In this video, guys, let's look at what's the difference between a good trading run and luck. Stick around. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Right, so my opinion on this, as always, who knows if I'm right, kind of share this stuff with you, and some of you agree, some of you disagree. That's trading, that's the whole point of things. So, when I analyze some of my trades, and almost 20 years in the markets now, it'll be 20 years in a few weeks. I have to check when I placed my very first trade, but almost 20 years, and it's obviously people who've got way more experience than me. But the point is, at some point you look at it and go, you have to be objective and honest with yourself. And sometimes you look at the data and you go, well, that was a lucky run. Yeah, I made a lot of money, but that's luck. And I need to accept the fact that that was luck. And sometimes you look at your P&L over a period of time and go, that was damn good trading. It was excellent trading. And maybe the rise in P&L, the rise in equity curve, the amount you've made is identical. But when you look at the nuts and bolts of it, there's distinct differences. So some of the things that potentially can stand out, and the point of this, guys, is that so that if you know you've had a run of luck, it's not kidding yourself that it's skill. This is the thing, in the early days of trading, you go, well, I'm a great trader, I've made this, but it's luck. You have a good run of luck. And it's saying, okay, I've been lucky, I'll take the luck because it's stuck another couple of grand in your bank or whatever it may be, but actually, I still need to work on things. Whereas if you've had a good run from skill, then you can say, right, well, actually, this is working well. What can I? Now, I know that many of you are going to go, well, it's very hard to distinguish, and I get it. It's not a black and white, guys. You can't just automatically go, that's definitely skill and definitely luck. But there's some things that point to luck versus a skill run, an equity curve ride because of luck, an equity curve ride upwards because of skill. So first one is no losers. So, okay, there's a caveat here, maybe not, but depending on how many trades you're taking, if you're taking kind of a few trades and they all happen to be winners, now there could be skill in that, of course, but it's sometimes you just get lucky in taking good trade, good trade, good trade, good trade, good trade with no losers, because your risk management hasn't been tested, and so sometimes you think, well, was I lucky with that run? If I had a lot of winners, was it down to luck, or was it down to just purely because there's the right conditions, the right time, etc. So you've got to be careful with that one. Near misses equals luck. No, so I'm going to skip to number 3 here because that's the same. Winners and losers skill. So this is the kind of difference between the two. If you've had a good run where you've had winners and losers and your risk management has stopped you getting hurt, this is key, comes down to good trading. It's like, okay, the system, the strategy, you were presented with a trade that didn't go in your way. Now, how did your system, strategy, method cope with that? If it coped with that, gave you a loser, went on to the next trade, went on to the next trade, and you're still up, that's a sign of a great, skillful system, well executed. The point is, if you had a run of winners, then your risk management's not really been tested. You've had a run of winners, and was it lucky because you had a run of winners? Maybe skill, but it's not been stress tested. You've not had those losers that could decimate your account, because often we have people who trade and do very, very well, and when the winners are great, but then they kind of losers, they just end up dumping all their profit. So this is the point of like winners and losers skill and no losers luck. But let's go to number 2 here, near misses luck. So what I mean by this, a near miss for me is if you've had some unrealized P&L that's been very, very substantial, but you've got away with it. That's really a near miss. And you know what I mean by this. If you're a day trader, maybe you've dug yourself a huge hole. You've been significantly in the red and you've pulled it back. That's a near miss. Because if you looked at that objectively and went, hey, if I ended the day when I was down that amount, I would change the dynamics of that P&L completely. That's a near miss. Another one is if you're in a swing trade, let's say it gaps down on you and comes back up. Any unrealized P&L that is heavily negative and would have a detrimental, severe impact on that run is a near miss. And that is luck, because over time, if you repeat that, the market could go even lower and lower and lower, whatever the trade is that caused that unrealized P&L. So big unrealized P&L on the red side is luck, if there's one of those or a couple of those in your run. And that was one of the things for me, guys. 15 years ago or so ago, when I'd be trading aggressively like FTSE stocks and FTSE 100 type of things, have days where I'd have big down days and I'd recover them. And objectively, when I sat down and said, you know what, one day you're going to get hammered. One day that will not be a recoverable day. you might have got lucky on literally a couple of trades that helps you pull it back. And yes, there are times when you can claw back from loss, but having this uncapped, unrealized P&L and going deep into the red, you're never ever going to get to where you want to be if that is still the same. And so work on that. And that's another topic, completely working on that. But that's then going, you know what? It's luck. It's luck you got away with that. You need to learn a free lesson from this. Otherwise, you'll have to learn a painful lesson. Where are we? Number 4, really good risk management skill. So kind of what I alluded to earlier, guys, which is, if your system has been tested, i.e. it's had some losers, it's dealt with markets have gone against you, it's dealt with a couple of losers in a row, it's dealt with this, or you've dealt with this if you're kind of an independent trader, or not an independent trader, kind of a human trader, if you like, a discretionary trader. That was the word I was looking for. A discretionary trader executing yourself, then you've dealt with the fact that it's loser, and you've still managed to have an increase in P&L. You've made more from your winners than your losers, etc., etc., etc. The risk management has been tested. If you've got poor risk management and you've still had a good run, and you've got poor risk management, you have to say it's luck. You have to, because you have to objectively look at it and go, okay, maybe in the short-term period you've made X, but over the long period of time, is this liable to continue? And being frank with yourself and saying, it's not. I got lucky on this. I didn't even get tested once with this market. I took a couple of risky plays and it worked out for me. I carried on trading when I shouldn't have, and it worked out for me. And just being honest about it, there's nothing wrong with it happening, but being honest, because otherwise if you repeat that behavior, sometimes you'll just be spinning your wheels and never get anywhere, and eventually you'll have that blow up. So honesty about how you've got to where you've got with that run. The final thing, one good winner is luck. Often we have a really monster winner. I'm gonna have a caveat here. Sometimes your strategy allows for an outlier type trade. I know mine does. Every now and then I get an absolute monster and it has a great boost on my P&L. It's just fantastic boost, but I have a strategy that allows me to get that, and I don't put it down to luck. I put it down to, okay, you can't say it's completely skill, but I have a position, I've positioned my strategy that allows, if a market wants to go and I'm in it, has the right attributes, there's a slither of a chance that I could get a very good result from it. And occasionally I do, because, well, the law of averages. So yes, it's luck on that individual trade, but I know that over time I'm going to get a few of those, so that comes down to skill. The difference between that and saying, okay, you just got lucky on something because you didn't look at it, or maybe held it over earnings, or had a gap, or this or that, the other, all these kind of binary events, and they had a massive impact on your P&L, and you go, yeah, but a great month. Well, you didn't have that lucky winner, where would you be? Well, actually I'd be red. Okay, then again, it's the honest, frank look at it. So luck and skill, what's the difference between a good trading run and luck? Have a look at that. See you next one. Take care. Bye-bye.